It's time we stop this nonsense about sports and politics never intersecting. It always has, and it always will. And it's also about time that we stood up and respected what Hunter Hess said at the Winter Olympic Games about representing the United States of America, somebody who's proud to represent the United States, but has a problem right now representing what's going on in his country. If you didn't see it, you should. Hunter Hess came out, and when people were asking him, it's an opening day press conference, basically, where any question is fair game. And the question was asked to Hunter Hess about how he felt about representing the United States. Now, keep in mind, this is a guy who has said many times before that he honors being a part of the United States team, that he honors representing America, that he is there, and he has talked about it incessantly, about the fact that he enjoys being a part of the American team. But when he was asked about representing America with what's happening right now, he left no doubt.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. I think for me, it's more I'm representing my friends and family back home, the people that represent it before me, all the things that I believe are good about the U.S.
Hunter Hess wasn't the only one who said something. Eileen Gu, Chloe Kim, American citizens, they also said basically the same thing, that while they respect America, and while Gu represents China, she is an American citizen, they honor America. They love their country, but they're not comfortable with what's happening in America right now. All of a sudden, we get all these whiners, wheezers, and wankers out there who are all screaming once again. Sports and politics should never mix. Oh, yeah, by the way, there's also the ones in there, and while some of them have said, no, that's not what I mean, it is exactly what they mean when they say that athletes should shut up, dribble, hit, shoot, whatever it is, drive, but stop with politics because you don't know any better.
If you're just doing it to represent your family and friends, which is what Hess said, then you need to go home and just do whatever else you do in Oregon, right? Slam your IPAs, smoke your weed, and just shut up and leave Team USA.
Nonsense. That's ridiculous because these are American citizens. These are people. Everybody has an opinion right now. And if there's anybody questioning whether or not sports and politics belongs together, have you been paying attention? Have you been watching what's happened over the last few decades? Can you go back to 1968? And remember the names John Carlos and Tommy Smith? That's really where it all started, where these two men surrendered their careers and stood up about the blatant and incessant racism in the United States and decided to take a stand. They took a stand. Their careers were over, but they changed things. They made people listen because they have a podium. They have a place. They are celebrities. And they're going to be heard and listened to more than just you or I or anybody else because of their status in society. Back then, they were the bad guys. But we've learned that right now, they're the good guys for what they did. Because America was racist then, it's been racist ever since, and it's racist now. All we have to do is go out there and ask the President of the United States about a little racism every now and then here and there, okay?
We're calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake.
But that's beside the point. We can get to that another time. But there have been other instances where athletes have stood up and people don't like it. Let's again go right to Colin Kaepernick. Everybody bitched and moaned about Kaepernick and how he hated the United States and how taking a knee was disrespectful to the United States, how it was disrespectful to our veterans, how it was disrespectful to the country, which is absolute nonsense. Because here are the people stating that what he did is he basically stuck it in the eye of all those military members, all those soldiers over the years who fought and died for America. Guess what? They fought and died for the right to kneel. They fought and died for the right to say something. And as a matter of fact, many veterans said they weren't insulted at all. But Colin Kaepernick used his ability, used his limelight, if you will, to get out there and say something political, and it made a difference. This is not about whether you agree with what he did or you completely disagree and hate him. We are still talking about it to this day. We're still talking about Smith and Carlos. And now we're going to be talking about Hess and the Milan Cortina Winter Olympic Games and what is said there. The biggest thing that people have to understand, and we can drill this incessantly, sports and politics are like this. They're tight. You can't separate the two. And I'm going to prove it to you. Every time a stadium comes up, an owner in any major sport comes up and wants to build a stadium, who do they get involved? City, state, federal governments, mostly city and state. That's all politics. I can tell you of arenas and stadiums around the country that I have been firsthand witness to that were basically paid for by nothing more than under-the-table graft and political dealings. I'll give you one. How about one in Miami, where the Miami Marlins play, that baseball stadium, that pimple on the ass of South Florida? It sits there in the wrong place. It was built with tremendous amounts of money the taxpayers are going to be paying for decades, all because it was a cut deal between then Marlins ownership and then Miami politics. But that happens every place. Every time you see these owners who have billions of dollars, but they want somebody else to pay for it, most likely the taxpayers in the cities, what do? They go cut deals. Politics, okay? Every single sport is involved in politics. College football, big in politics now, and has been for many years, trying to decide the NIL issue and whether or not players should be paid. NASCAR has been involved in politics. The NBA, the NHL, Major League Baseball especially involved in politics. It's all there. So stop with this nonsense that sports and politics don't mix. That's number one. Number two, these are professional athletes. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. There was a time when I wouldn't ask a professional athlete to add 2 and 2 because I know he'd come up with, or she'd come up with 197. Athletes weren't too smart. It's different these days. These are smart people, smart young people who are paying attention to what's happening in their lives. And they also are intelligent when it comes down to money. Hey, go ahead and start looking at what's going on in college football. These kids know all about their money these days. But right now, these are people who are not just athletes with a podium. They don't just have a place to say things like this, to change things, to try and change things. They're citizens. They're people. They're American citizens. And just like you and just like me sitting right here, right now, they get a chance to say what's on their mind. We have had athletes come out and they have glorified the current political system. They have said they're big fans of Donald Trump, entertainers as well. Nobody ever excoriates them. Nobody ever tells them to shut up and just dribble or shut up and just sing, whatever it is, or dance. But come out against the Trump administration and right-wing politics, you got to shut your mouth, young man, because you don't appreciate America. You don't love this country. That's nonsense. Hunter Hess and others speaking up love America, and I can prove it because they're doing something. They're saying something. They're not just sitting back on their ass. They're not just waiting for the medals to show up. They're not just taking the freebies every now and then where they go. No, they're putting their lives, their careers, their reputations on the line by speaking out in favor of what they believe is wrong with America. Everybody gets a chance to do that. Doesn't make a difference what they do for a living. Everybody gets that chance to do it, and they should get that chance to do it because they are American citizens. What we are buried in right now is political nonsense, political bullshit. Because we have people, and again, I hate to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway because it's germane to the argument. We still have people talking about Bad Bunny in the halftime show at the Super Bowl. He hates America. Bad Bunny hates America. He's not American. So much propaganda, misinformation, and disinformation, and people are falling for it. That's the problem. He's an American citizen, and if you go back, look, maybe you don't speak Spanish, and maybe you didn't like the fact that it was in Spanish, but if you go back and listen to the message that he sent, it's about America. It's about keeping America together. It's about taking this country and making it understand that we can all get together. We should be doing something for America. We should be gathering together. That's what he was saying. And stop with all these people coming up and say, well, some of the lyrics were a little racy. Did you listen to the crap over on that other show, whatever it was, and some of the idiotic lyrics that were there as well? I mean, that's just nonsense. That's all just sidelight is all that is. That's kind of like look over here and get away from the main focus of what's really going on. Bad Bunny, what he did showed a love of America. Hunter Hess, what he said at the Olympics showed a love of America. And if we're going to go ahead and we're going to start to talk about all this, then we need to understand politics and sports go together. They should go together. Matter of fact, I think every Olympian should stand up, speak their mind. If you're for or against Trump, for or against him, whatever it is, speak your mind. But see, the problem with it is then the trolls walk in right away and they ruin their lives. People like Trump, who immediately comes out and says Hunter Hess is a loser because of what he said. No, Donald Trump, you're the loser because you can't take a little criticism, because you have to whine, pout, and moan every single time somebody says anything bad about you, and I'm going to get out here and I'm going to get all upset about it. You're the president of the United States. Your job is a unifier, and you're not doing it. This is an American citizen who's saying something, and you're calling him a loser just because you don't agree with him. What's wrong with this picture? What's wrong? What's wrong is that people continue to say that sports and politics don't mix, and they do, and they should. And all of these athletes, hey, I got a lot of respect for Steve Kerr. He always speaks his mind. Good for him. Athletes need to say something. Entertainers need to say something. We need to say something. We need to constantly be talking about this. It doesn't make a difference who you are, because people can come out and say, well, people who ski shouldn't talk about American politics. Hey, I got news for you. People who pump gas shouldn't talk about American politics. Okay? People who sell insurance shouldn't talk about American politics. Where do you want to stop? Where do you want to start? It's all part of what makes up this country right now. And the people, like the Hunter Hesses of the world, like the Elaine Goos and the Chloe Kims and the others who are speaking up, they're the ones to be lauded for what they're doing, because they're putting their careers on the line for America. You want to talk about making America great again? How about we let people speak their minds? How about we let people get out there, get in the face of those that are ruining this country, and say something about it? Hunter Hess has good reason to be uncomfortable. Have you seen what's happening in Minneapolis? Have you seen what's happening in other states across America? Have you seen the truth about what's going on? He's worried. So am I. So should you be as well. But stop dealing with the bullshit. Start dealing with the facts and let these athletes speak. And I hope when they stand at the podium, they stand there and remember Carlos and Smith and the way that they said something on the podium. They don't have to do it now. I'm not saying that every athlete should get up there at the Olympic Games or any other podium for that matter and make sure that they make a political statement. That's not what I'm saying. If it's in their heart, if it's in their soul, if it's what they believe is the best thing for America, say it. And if you say something that people don't agree with, that's what it's all about. Bring it out into the open. That's the beauty of people who have a platform. And you know something? I've got a platform. I don't get seen by millions of people. I hope to one day, but I'm going to use this platform and I'm going to use it properly. I'm an American citizen. I love this country. I stand for this country, but I'm not going to sit here like so many others and put up with the bullshit that is destroying this country, the lies, the propaganda, the crap that's driving us downward. And if sports walks into it, let sports walk into it. And it should. We all need to pay attention. And if you're going to talk about being an American, then be one. Say something. Be part of a group that doesn't just sit on its ass and wait for somebody else to get involved.